Hey everyone, and welcome to Isms by Josie. Today I'm going to be doing the last character out of the 6 of Crafter Square kit that I got from the Dollar Tree. For my returning subscribers, thank you so much for tuning in. And for my new viewers, please consider subscribing, share, hit that like button, leave a comment below, and click on that notification bell for future videos. So today, you guys, I'm going to be doing another viewer request of Crafter Square kit. We are going to be doing the Dinosaur. I remember doing the T-Rex Dinosaur. This is, I guess, what, a Brontosaurus or something. I don't know my dinosaurs very well anymore. But anyway. These kits include a plastic needle, yarn, stuffing, crochet hook, and plastic beads. There are pieces that are considered a choke hazard for young children and pets, of course, so just be mindful of that. If you are intending on gifting this to a child or a pet, I highly recommend that you just embroider the eyes and don't use any of the plastic accessories, which I'm probably going to do for this kit. Also in this kit, as I've unboxed or unpackaged each one of these characters, it seems like the new 6, as opposed to every other kit that I've done with Crafter Square, we have the original 6 characters, we have the keychain kits, the planturn kits. They all had markers. I did receive a comment from a lovely person not too long ago, stating, why am I pulling out stuff, and just putting that in a very nicer sentence. Well, because the original 6 and every other crochet kit has come with markers, and for some reason they decided to skimp out. So if you are frustrated, I 100% understand. Listen, as I say always, I do not create any of these kits. I wish that they would do like a quality control or focus group, maybe ask or look at the reviews on their website and kind of heed the advice of the customers that are paying their hard-earned money for these kits that are supposed to be beginner friendly, but they're now gypping you on, I believe it came with 4 or 5 markers. And if you do not know what I'm talking about, these are all the markers that I've collected from a lot of, most of them are from Crafter Square kits, and other are from some other kits, and there's definitely a quality difference, but I'm just saying they did have them, and for some reason they don't have them in these kits anymore. Maybe they didn't want to pay the extra and wanted to earn a buck, I guess, to keep it at $125 due to inflation or tariffs, who knows. But yeah, I have no control over that, but these definitely help you out. So I always say in my videos, you want to go to a hobby store or online and check these out. They're a couple dollars to $5. They sell them in packs. So they're definitely helpful, especially if you're a beginner in crocheting. Even, you know, for someone that's been doing this for a while like myself, I find them godsend. So I highly recommend them. But anyway, let's get to this. So it shows you all how to do all the stitches. I am going to walk through these stitches as they pop up in the instructions. I will repeat them step by step with you at least 3 times, and then thereafter I will do my own pace, and of course I'll walk through each instruction with you. So let's get started with this. It doesn't identify colors. If it says a color change, it'll probably change color of the font. I don't think that's going to happen here, but they do now offer illustrations that I do appreciate. I just think that they're too small, especially when you're trying to count rows, if you have to stick the eyes on where to put it, because the instructions don't tell you which rows to put it on. Alright, so let's get started. If you need to slow down or speed up this video, click on the gear button in the corner. There's playback options to go fast or slow. If you don't need to hear me talking, lower the volume on your device and then click on the CC closed caption button. Alright, most of these you're always going to start with a magic ring, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Also, what I'm going to do, my tips, if I have any, and one of them is when you get balls of yarn like this that are really perfect for this example, you would normally pick the easier, end to start with, which is normally the outside. This is going to cause rolling when you pull your yarn. If you're not a fan of your yarn rolling around like crazy, you can go in, and I'm gonna try to find the other end, but normally what I do, because this is very loose and it's very rare you're gonna find something this loose, I just go in here and I just pull a chunk out, and then which potentially could be a bad idea, but if you pull out a chunk, you'll get a chunk out. The end piece will be in this chunk, and I'd rather do that and not have to deal with the ball of yarn rolling as I pull, as opposed to having it roll, or as opposed to yeah, I don't know what I'm saying, but anyway, so it is hot today. I just turned my AC on, so I don't know if you can hear it in the background. Hopefully you can't. I would have put on my here's the other end. I would have put on my fan that's on my desk, but that makes a weird whirly noise, and I don't think you'll appreciate that either, so I'll put on the AC that's in the living room. Alright, so let's start this magic ring. What you're gonna do is take your yarn, and you're gonna want to wrap it around your finger 3 times like this, and then you want to have a little bit of yarn over your index so that you can take your middle finger and hold it down. Then while we're here, you can tighten this up a little bit. If it's too loose, we're going to turn your palm up towards the ceiling, and then I'm going to take the hook. Now, if you look very closely on the side, there's an embossed lettering with numbers, and this one is a 3.5 millimeter hook, and I don't know if you could see the little bumps on here, but you're not going to be able to read it. You can only read it with your naked eye, not through camera. Anyway, you're going to slip this hook underneath the 3 strands like this. We're going to pull the hook back out, but we're going to drag this strand underneath these 2. So you can turn the side of your hook so that you can tuck away the hook. It won't hook on these other 2. But you're going to pull this strand underneath these 2 strands like this. Oops. Make sure that you clear your yarn. The quality of yarn is not great for any of these kits, so you want to be sure that you clear it, meaning you don't split it in half like I did. So stick it underneath all of it, and then we're going to do it again. So pull this strand underneath these 2. Alright, once you're here, we're going to do a yarn over, which is basically putting this yarn over this hook. So yarn over. We have this yarn over the hook. We're going to pull this strand through this loop. Oops. Through this loop. And then we're going to be right here. So now we can let go of our ring finger. We can slip the loops off of our index. And then we can start doing our first round. So for round 1, we're going to chain 1. Do 6 single crochet stitches, a slip stitch, and then end up with 6 stitches. So we're going to yarn over. We're going to pull this through the loop to chain 1. That's the basic shape of crocheting, basic stitch of crocheting, the chain 1. And then we're going to do a single crochet stitch. So to do that, stick your hook into the loops. We're going to yarn over, and you're going to pull up a loop. So you have 2 loops on your hook. Then we're going to yarn over again, and you're going to pull that through 2 loops. And that is how you do a single crochet stitch. And then we have our chain stitch right next to it. Let's do this again. Into the loops, put in your hook. We're going to yarn over, pull up a loop, and we're going to yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Now we have 2 single crochet stitches and a chain stitch. One more time with you guys. Stick your hook into the loops, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through 2 loops. So now we have 3 single crochet stitches and a chain stitch. Notice that each stitch looks like a nice French braid. And then the braid or stitch consists of 2 loops, which is considered facing yourself, like looking down on this. This will be considered the front loop. This will be considered the back loop. Just letting you know the parts of the stitch so you understand what they are. So now we have to do 3 more single crochet stitches. If you need to go back step by step, rewind the video now. Otherwise, I'm going to do 3 more on my own. 1, 2, and 3. And I apologize for my voice. Oof. It's midday and I sound like it's midnight at the moment. Anyway, so now we have 6 single crochet stitches and our chain stitch. Once we're here, you want to lightly grab the stitches at the lower part of this ring, because this is where we have our excess piece. What we want to do is make these 2 loops disappear into our magic ring. That's why it's called a magic loop. So I'm just going to take this feeder yarn and I'm just going to hold it with my middle finger out of the way so we can focus on just these loops and the excess piece. So you want to hold this firmly but not too tight. We're going to pull this excess piece and we're going to see which loop goes in first, and it could be different for you, but what you want to do is gently pull this excess piece and see which loop goes in first. And once you identify which one that is, you can stop pulling. So I'm going to stop pulling because I see it's this one back here, this one. So what you want to do now is you want to pull the lower half out, not what's up here. Wherever you're gripping your bottom stitches is where you want to pull out. So take that loop that went in first, and we're going to pull that bottom half out, and as we do that, you're going to see the other loop start to go in, and that's exactly what you want to see. And you want to keep pulling until that other loop disappears completely into the magic loop. Alright, once you're here, you might still have a little hole. Here I have a little hole. Let me see. I gotta work on this focus. It's really bothering me. Sorry, you guys. Let me fix this. Alright, hopefully it stops jumping. Alright, then I'm going to grab this excess piece and I'm going to pull this now until the other loop disappears into the magic loop. So pull that until it's gone, just like the other one did. I'm going to stop, and then just to make sure this hole gets completely closed, I'm going to pull in the opposite direction, and it's going to be a little up, and you're going to pull it. You're going to feel like a little bit of give, and you're not going to pull too tight, but just enough to make it snug. And this hole is no longer a tiny hole, it's a non-existent hole. Alright, so we are almost done with our round 1. What we're going to do next is we're going to count 6 stitches from the hook. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You want to stick the hook into the 6th stitch, and as I was saying earlier, each stitch comprises of 2 loops, the front and back loops, and we're just going to slip our hook into both loops. And you want to make sure you clear it. You don't want to split the yarn. But I'm going to yarn over to do a slip stitch, yarn over, and we're going to pull that through all the loops off your hook. Like that. Okay. So now, like I said, they don't have them in these kits anymore, and I have no idea why. It's kind of messed up. But because you're still paying for the same amount, but you're getting less. But if you don't get these at a hobby store or online, you have to either visually remember where the last stitch you made, or you can say cut this purple yarn like a little strip, and you want to use your hook. You can do this. You can pull up the loop so that you have a bigger loop. You won't like lose that loop, because if you do, the whole thing will unravel. But you're gonna stick your hook backside into that last stitch we made, and then I'm gonna just pull this, and I'm only doing this because of the last comment, you know, in case you really can't get any markers, you can cut like an inch of this off, put it like this over your hook, and pull it through holding one side, so when you pull all the way out, only one side comes out the other end. And you can leave this on there, and you can like always pull it out when you're doing the next round, and then stick your hook into the next last stitch you made. It's a whole process, and this isn't working. Okay. You can do it that way. The only problem with doing that is these kits don't even give you enough yarn, so every inch counts, and if you cut the inch to use for your marker, there might be some crazy chance that you won't have enough to finish your project. And I laugh, but that's not funny. Okay, so if you do get markers, what you're gonna do is take this, and you know what, you don't even have to, if you get a safety pin, but those are sharp, so just be careful. I don't know who's gonna be doing this. You can get a safety pin, you can get a hair pin, like maybe a bobby pin, and just slip it in. But if you use a safety pin or these markers, you just put them under the stitch, under those two loops, make sure you clear it, and you just pinch it closed like a safety pin. And so you can use that, so it won't be the end of the world. I mean, again, I apologize for this company. They don't suck in one area, they're gonna suck in another. It's sad to say. Let me fix this camera because my camera is sucking right now. Hold on. All right, hopefully I'll minimize the amount of zooming in this thing is trying to do. All right, so for round 2, we're going to chain 1, do 6 increasing stitches, a slip stitch, and then end up with 12 stitches. Okay, so we're going to yarn over and pull through the loop for chain 1, the basic stitch in crocheting. Then we're going to put our hook into the next stitch over. We're going to yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. To do an increasing stitch, that's basically 2 single crochet stitches in a stitch. So we're going to go back into that same stitch that we just used, and we're going to yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So we have our chain stitch, and we have 2 single crochet stitches in that one stitch, and that's an increasing stitch. So when you increase by 1 more. So into the next stitch, we're going to do an increasing stitch, which means 2 single crochet stitches in this stitch. So yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Into that same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. And so now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 single crochet stitches and a chain stitch. So one more time with you guys, we're going to do 2 single crochet stitches in this next stitch. So yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Then into that same stitch, put in your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So now we're going to be doing this 3 more times, an increasing stitch. 1, 2, 3. Alright, you can remove the marker. This is indicating that if you are on the last stitch where that marker is, that means your count is good. If you are you know, short and you still need to do more, then something must have happened down here. If you have too many, even one stitch still left, it means you doubled up somewhere. But anyway, I'm going to remove this marker. I'm going to count back 12 stitches from the hook. 3, 6, 9, 12. I'm going to put our hook into the 12th stitch. We're going to complete this slip stitch by yarning over and pulling through all the loops off your hook. And then I'm going to replace my marker at the last stitch that we made, which is the slip stitch. And then we're going to move on to round 3. So for round 3, we're going to chain 1, do 1 single crochet stitch, an increasing stitch 6 times, a slip stitch, and then end up with 18 stitches. So let's do a chain stitch. We're going to do a single crochet stitch. Then we're going to do an increasing stitch. And then we're going to repeat this 5 more times. So a single crochet stitch, an increasing stitch, and then we're going to repeat this 4 more times. A single crochet stitch, an increasing stitch, and then we're going to repeat this 3 more times. 1, 2, 3. So you'll know if you don't clear the yarn because you can either see it or you can feel it. When you feel like your hook didn't go through nicely and it felt like there was some give, you probably pierced the yarn or split the yarn. So I'm going to remove the marker and I'm going to count back 18 stitches. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. Stick your hook into the 18th stitch. We're going to yarn over and pull through all the loops and then place our marker at the last stitch we made, and we're going to move on to round 4. So now we're going to chain 1, do 3 single crochet stitches, an increasing stitch 4 times, do 2 additional single crochet stitches, a slip stitch, and end up with 22 stitches. So let's chain 1. We're going to do 3 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to do an increasing stitch. 1, right, and then we're just going to repeat this 3 more times. 3 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to do an increasing stitch. 1. Then we're going to repeat this 2 more times. 3 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to do an increasing stitch, and then we have to do this 1 more time. Okay, and then after we do that, it says we have to do 2 single crochet stitches. 1, 2. Then we're going to remove the marker. We're going to count back 22 stitches. 5, 10, 15, 22. Put your hook into the 22nd stitch, yarn over and slip stitch, and then we're going to place our marker through the last stitch that we made, and we're going to move on to round 5 through 9. So if this marker is row 5, we're just going to need more for round 6, round 7, round 8, round 9. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is the joy of buying these yourself or collecting and keeping the markers that you receive in other kits, because now instead of having to, you know, essentially pay attention after you complete each round, you just put your marker in, and then if you stop, you know, have a meal, or heck, sleep for a week, you know, come back after a month, you can be like, oh, okay, so I've got 2 tags on here. I just have to complete these 3 left. So for round 5, we're going to chain 1, do 22 single crochet stitches, a slip stitch, and end up with 22 stitches. So this is a nice one. I like these. They're just really long sometimes. All we're doing is chaining 1 and then doing 22 single crochet stitches, nothing really fancy. So I'm going to do 5 through 9 in silence, and then I'll pop back in for round 10. as you see here, it start to bow in on me, and that's fine. That's gonna happen. And so I want to show you guys which side is going to be the right side and which side is going to be the wrong side. So this side here with the excess piece sticking out is going to be the wrong side. We have to flip this project inside out. So what we're going to do is we're going to push this back end and flip the edges outward. So push in as you push out with your thumbs and invert the project so that the right side shows, and then you can take this excess piece and just tuck it in there. That could add to your stuffing. All right, so we completed rounds 5 through 9. I'm going to remove all the markers that I used, so I'm going to also mark the last stitch that I made. Okay, remove these. And of course, when I showed you guys how to cut off an inch of the purple, you're going to need to cut off as many inches to make these markers. And again, that's all well and great, but you might run out of yarn. So that's why it's always good to have those extra markers, which is, again, unfortunate that Crafter Square decided to jip you guys on the markers that they had in all their other kits. Look, they even show marker. All right, I'm not making this stuff up. Maybe the list that they gave manufacturing accidentally left it out. But anyway. All right, so we are going to do round 10, and this one's going to be a chain 1, 3 single crochet stitches, a decreasing stitch 4 times, 2 single crochet stitches, a slip stitch, and end up with 18 stitches. All right, so let's break this down. Let's do a chain. We're gonna do, oh, I removed all of them. Put that one back. All right, we're gonna do a chain, and then we're gonna do 3 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to do a decreasing stitch, and it's pretty much opposite of what an increasing stitch is. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 2 stitches and turn it into 1 single crochet stitch. So how you do that is put your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. So now you have 2 loops on your hook. Into the next stitch, put your hook. We're going to yarn over and pull up a loop. So now we have 3 loops on our hook. Then we're going to yarn over and we're going to pull this strand through all 3 loops off your hook. And so now we've created 1 single crochet stitch by using 2 stitches from the previous row. So now we just have to repeat this 3 more times. Into the next stitch, put in your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop. Oh, I don't even know why I'm going through this. Yarn over and pull through 2 loops. We're going to do 2 more single crochet stitches. It just becomes automatic after a while. All right, now we're going to do a decreasing stitch. So into the next stitch, put in your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop. Into the next stitch, put in your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through all 3 loops. We're going to do 3 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to do a decreasing stitch. So into the next stitch, put in your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop. Into the next stitch, put in your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through all 3 loops. And then we're going to do this 1 more time. And then it says do 2 single crochet stitches. 1, 2. Okay, remove the marker. We're going to count back 18 and do a slip stitch. 5, 10, 15, 18. Stick your hook into the 18th stitch. Yarn over, pull through all loops. Place your marker at the last stitch you made. All right. Now for round 11, we're going to do chain 1, a single crochet stitch, a decreasing stitch 6 times, a slip stitch, and end up with 12 stitches. Okay. So, chain 1, do a single crochet stitch, a decreasing stitch, and repeat this 5 more times. Single crochet stitch, a decreasing stitch, and repeat this 4 more times. Single crochet stitch, a decreasing stitch, and then repeat this 3 more times. Okay, remove the marker, count back 12, 3, 6, 9, 12, stick your hook into the 12th stitch, and replace your marker. Okay, so now we're going to insert the eyes and stuff with fiberfill, shape with hands. Okay, so here I have black yarn, and then I'm going to take the needle out of our little packet of accessories. Again, if you want to use the eyes, go ahead and do that. That's going to be easier. But I'm going to sew mine in. So, figure 15 through 16. Where's 15 through 16? Oh, there we go. So, like I said, these are great. It's just, how am I supposed to count this? So, I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, between 6 and 7, let me pull out that, this thing here and see if I can look at it closer. So here's a little faint line, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and this is 7, 8. See, you can see it's going through 7, 8. So I'm going to go through 7, 8. First of all, I'm going to pick a nice side. So if you know that there's like your seams that are coming across like this, maybe that faces down, so you could put it somewhere here. But we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So in this row, I'm going to come up from underneath, from inside the head. I'm going to come up here, let's say. Pull this to where you leave a decent amount of tail so that you can tie this off later. And I'm holding it down with my index behind here and my thumb so this doesn't move. And then what I'm going to do is sew an eye. So, by any means, because I am not a sewer, if you know a better way to do this, then do it that way. Otherwise, I'm just going to kind of fake it. And I just did a plus sign in case you're wondering. So once I went 2 up and down, 2 horizontally. Once I get the second line in, I'm gonna stay inside the head here, because we are gonna do the other eye. Rather than tie a knot, cut it, make another eye, and then tie that knot. So here's the eyeball. I'm gonna travel this yarn around the inside the head, and you want to make sure that you're not pulling it, because you're gonna make like a little pinch into the head, and you don't want to do that. What I am going to do is pull this hook out, make a big loop so you can remove this hook. This hook gets in the way. So, and then if you pull it out long, you're not going to lose your stitch, hopefully. So what I'm going to do is, like I said, trail the yarn around the head, and I'm going to come back on the other side of the head between 7 and 8. And to make this like even, if you want to try, I would flatten it down so you can get an idea of where it's supposed to be. So I gotta make it pop up, it feels like here. So just make sure you're not sewing this together, keeping it separate. And then when you pull, you want to make sure that this is not pulled too tight, because then you won't be able to flatten the head out like that. You won't be able to make it round. You want to make sure you pull it enough to where the thread goes in, but it's not going to pull. And I'm just going to show you what it looks like if you pull it. So if you pull it too tight, the eye is going to start sinking in, and it's going to make this disappear. You want to be able to flex that yarn, even stretch it even, so that when you stuff, it'll be nice and round and it won't be weird shaped. But once we have that, I'm going to hold it down like I did on the other side, except now we have to remember this is upside down. I mean, it shouldn't be too much to worry about, because all we're doing is doing a plus sign, but we want to do the same thing. If I went vertically twice, I'm going to want to do it vertically twice again. So here's one time. Okay, let's do another. But this time I'm going to go out to the side so we can do the horizontal. But however it is you do it, just make sure it's like it's even so that it doesn't look funny. Because I've done them, I should look the same, but sometimes I screw up and it doesn't look the same. What did I do? What did I make? I made something a few videos ago, and I made the eye too big. One eye too big, the other one too small. Alright, so this is the last strand we're doing. We're going to put this in and keep it inside the head. Okay, make sure this looks right before we tie it off. Right, like that. Alright, so now I'm going to invert this just a little bit so I can see what's happening in here. You want to take that strand, and you want to make sure that you do the same thing that you did with this loop. This loop went around the inside of the head. You want to make sure that you leave enough room again for this strand before you tie it off on the other side. And I'm gonna like double knot this. And then you can just cut this off to make it shorter. And set this aside here. Flip this right side in, or right side out, sorry. So now we have our eyes. Let me just check the picture to see if there's a mouth while we're here. Alright, so it's just the eye. Okay, so now we're gonna do round 15. Let me put this hook back. Slip your hook back into that large loop, and then we're gonna tighten up just a little bit. And this might have gotten stretched. You can tighten it up to where you make that stitch a little closer. Right there. Alright, so now we're going to be doing round 15. After that is the legs, horns. My voices. And then we're going to sew it all together. So I'm going to check back this video, see if there's enough time. Maybe we can fit it all in one video. Okay, for round 15, we are going to be... Oh wait, and we have to stuff with fiberfill. Whoops! Alright, I'm going to take my fiberfill, and I'm probably going to use the whole thing. Nope, we're going to save some for the legs. And let's see if the horn is going to need it. Okay, we just need it for the legs, so let us take some for the legs. I guess this might be for 4 of the legs, and then I'll try to see how much I can put in this part here. I mean, this is the body. Really? I feel like we're missing. Oh, we're missing the head? Yeah. Alright, so I skipped the dinosaur head. We'll go back and do that. No! Oh wait, no, I didn't skip the head. Jeez. Okay, we're gonna stuff the head. And then we have to do the body. How did I get here? I'm sorry, I just totally confused myself. Alright, so I guess we're here, and I turn to the second page to look at figure 15 through 16. And then I've got to do round 12. Woo! Alright. Anybody laughing at me out there? Because I would, if I were you. Okay, so anyway, I removed stuff for the 4 legs. Let's remove stuff for the body. Let me see if it looks kind of almost the same shape or not, because then maybe we'll just divide by 2. Well, it looks like the head's a little bigger, so yeah, maybe this will be for the head, this will be for the body, but we'll still feel it out as we go. I'm gonna try to fit this stuff in here and see what happens. If it's too much, then I'll leave the rest for the body. But I'm thinking it's either too much or just enough. Okay, so we're kind of about, not that it's like completely tight in here, but I think I could save myself a little bit more for the body. And then we can just put this in. This is about a decent amount of firmness. Okay. Oh, how embarrassing. I mean, it's hot here now. I did the beginning part of this during my lunch, and now it's the afternoon, and it is, you know, I feel like about 15 degrees hotter. So, alright, just gathering up. I don't know why I'm gathering up a lot of yarn, but that's woo, I want to have my fan on here on my desk, but if I did, you're going to hear that. So, okay. Okay, round 12. We're going to do a chain stitch, a 6 decreasing stitch, a slip stitch, and then we're going to have 6 stitches in the end. So, chain stitch, 6 decreasing stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, remove the marker. I'm not going to need to replace the marker, the last stitch we made, because we are going to slip stitch and then I'm going to fasten this off. It doesn't really tell you, but that's what you should do. So count back 6 stitches from your hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we're going to put our hook into the 6th stitch. We're going to do a slip stitch. Then I'm going to get a tail because we're gonna you know what, let's premeditate this. We might we're sewing on the body, so yeah, let's do a tail. Okay, so I don't know how long that could be. Again, you want to be sparing, you don't want to waste your yarn, but you do need it to sew. So I'm not going to say how long. I mean, in the past instructions, it would tell you 5 inches. So, we'll see what that does for us. Okay, oh, to fasten off, now that we cut this piece, we're going to yarn over. We're going to pull that through the loop, but we're going to pull it all the way out. And then we're going to tighten up that stitch like that, and then we're going to take our needle, thread your needle here. We're going to go through the front loops of the remaining 6 stitches. Okay. Then we're going to pull this closed. See how it's very nice. Look at that. Beautiful. Alright, and then you got to figure out how to tie a knot. So now it's going to look like crud. Because I don't know how to tie a knot. So I just put it through a stitch. You can do it your way. You can do it my way. Can't guarantee that my way won't unravel. But this is just to secure it, to make sure that it's close. I mean, it should be. You can rely on that, but I'm just going to do this just in case. So I'm going to put my needle through this loop twice. Okay. And then I'm going to try to tighten this loop. It's like a French knot. Okay, and then we're going to leave this for when we sew up the head to the body. Okay, wow. So let's do the body now. Because for some reason I thought it's That's why you can't take a break and come back. Alright, let's move on. Alright, so let's grab our yarn again. We're going to have to do another magic ring. I'm going to show, like I said, I'll show you step by step everything 3 times at least minimum. So you're going to wrap this yarn 3 times around your finger with a little bit over the index so that you can hold it down with your middle finger. You can tighten up these strands if you need to. Then we're going to turn our palm up, and then you're going to take your hook and slip it underneath the 3 strands. I'm going to pull this hook back, but I want to hook this strand and pull it underneath these 2 strands. So hook it, turn your hook a little sideways to fit under here. And once we've pulled up a loop, you're going to yarn over. We're going to pull up another loop, and then we can let go of our middle finger and we can slip this off of our index. Okay, so let's start with our first round. We're going to do a chain 1, a 6 single crochet stitch, a slip stitch, and end up with 6 stitches. So it looks like the body and the legs and the head all start out the same. You're gonna chain 1. Oops, that went a little out of hand. I accidentally pulled it. Alright, yarn over. We're gonna make a chain. Then we're gonna do 6 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then we're gonna gently grip the lower stitches down here, and then with these 2 loops we're gonna see which one goes in first by gently pulling the tail. Now once you see a loop moving, stop pulling, which was this one. If you saw it, we're going to pull the lower half down here, not up here, but down here. Pull out that lower half of that loop that started to go in first. And as you pull that out, you're going to see the other loop start to disappear within the magic ring, like this. And then you're going to stop once it fully disappears into the ring. You still might have a hole here, that's okay. We're going to pull our excess piece here until the other loop fully disappears into that magic loop. And to close off the hole, you're going to pull in the opposite direction and upward. So pull it, you're going to feel a little give, and then stop once it stops. Stop pulling once it stops. You don't have to pull it tightly. Just enough till it's done wanting to pull. And then here is your closed magic ring. We're going to count 6 stitches from the hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Put your hook into the 6th stitch, and we're going to do a slip stitch. Okay, so that's how you complete your magic ring and first round. We're going to put a marker under the last stitch we made. Alright, so now we're going to do round 2, and we're going to do chain 1 and 6 single crochet stitches, end up with 6 stitches. So that's pretty straightforward. We're going to chain 1 and do 6 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay. You can remove your marker. Count back 6 stitches and do a slip stitch. 3, 6. Put your hook into the 6th stitch and do a slip stitch. Alright, and then replace your marker. Now this piece is starting to curl ahead. Let me see if I can flip it inside out like we did before. So as you do these, you're going to see that it's starting to curl, make like a basket. So what you're going to want to do is invert this, so flip it inside out, and then we're going to tuck this excess piece inside, but this is still kind of small to comfortably stuff everything inside, so we're just going to leave this out for now, but just make sure that you're not crocheting in it. You don't want to hook it or split the yarn with it. You want to try to leave it out of your way. Okay, so for round 3, we're going to chain 1, do 5 single crochet stitches and an increasing stitch, a slip stitch, and end up with 7 stitches. So chain 1, do 5 single crochet stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then the last stitch we're going to do an increasing stitch. Okay, then I'm going to remove the marker. I'm going to count back 7 and do a slip stitch. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Stick your hook into the 7th stitch, yarn over, and do a slip stitch. Then we're going to put our marker back into the last stitch we made. Okay, and as this gets bigger, if you feel like you can tuck in this tail without having it pop back out, then by all means do that now. Okay, then for round 4, we're going to chain 1, 6 single crochet stitches, an increasing stitch, a slip stitch, and end up with 8 stitches. So we're going to chain 1, do 6 single crochet stitches, 1, 2, 3, well, make sure you clear your yarn, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then an increasing stitch. And then we're going to count back 8 stitches after I move this marker here. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Where are we? 6 stitches, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Stick your hook into the 8th stitch, yarn over and do a slip stitch. Mark off the last stitch you made, and then we're going to do round 5, which is chain 1, 7 single crochet stitches, an increasing stitch, and end up with 9 stitches. So chain 1, we're going to do 7 single crochet stitches, 1, 2, oops, I didn't clear that. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then the last one is going to be an increasing stitch. 1, 2, remove the marker. We're going to count back 9 and do a slip stitch. 3, 6, 9, slip stitch. Then you're going to remark the last stitch you made. And we're going to do round 6, chain 1, 8 single crochet stitches, an increasing stitch, a slip stitch, and end up with 10 stitches. So chain 1, and then do 8 single crochet stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then an increasing stitch. And we're going to remove the marker. Count back 10 stitches, 3, 6, 9, 10. Do a slip stitch. And we're going to do round 7. So for round 7, we have to chain 1, do a single crochet stitch, an increasing stitch, 5 times, a slip stitch, and end up with 15 stitches. I'm just gathering up some yarn here. Okay. So chain 1, we're going to do a single crochet stitch, an increasing stitch, and we're going to repeat this 4 more times, single crochet stitch, an increasing stitch, then repeat this 3 more times, single crochet stitch, increasing stitch, I can't say increasing today, and then we're just going to do this 2 more times, 1, and 2. Okay, remove the marker. Let's count back 15 and do a slip stitch. 5, 10, 15. Let's double make sure. 5, 10, 15. Okay. Slip stitch. Put your marker, the last stitch we made. Alright. So now for round 8, we're going to chain 1, do 6 single crochet stitches, 2 increasing stitches, 7 single crochet stitches, and a slip stitch, and end up with 17 stitches. So chain 1, we're going to do 6 single crochet stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then we're going to do 2 increasing stitches, 1, and 2. Okay. Then we're going to do 7 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. remove the marker. We're going to count back 17 and do a slip stitch. 5, 10, 15, 17, slip stitch, mark off the last stitch. Alright, so now for rounds 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, right? So 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So for rounds 9 through 13, we're going to chain 1, do 17 single crochet stitches, a slip stitch, and end up with 17 stitches. So I'm going to go and do this in silence. Okay, so I completed rounds 9 through 13, and we're going to go on to round 14. We're going to chain 1, do a single crochet stitch, a decreasing stitch 5 times. Then we're going to do 2 single crochet stitches, a slip stitch, and end up with 12 stitches. Makes you wonder if I did that right on the head. I think I did. Anyway, chain 1. We're going to do a single crochet stitch, and then we're going to do a decreasing stitch. And we just have to repeat this 4 more times. Single crochet stitch, decreasing stitch, and then we just repeat this 3 more times. Single crochet stitch, decreasing stitch, and then we repeat this 2 more times. 1 and 2. And I must have really messed up somewhere because I have 2 left. Alright, I probably put my hook in the same spot as a decreasing stitch. Oh no, I didn't. What? 2 single crochet stitches after. 1, 2. Yeah, I almost did that last time too. 2 single crochet stitches, and then I'm going to count back 12 stitches and do a slip stitch. So 3, 6, 9, 12. Put your hook into the 12th stitch and do your slip stitch. Oh, that scared me a little bit. Yeah, after those brackets you do 2 single crochet stitches. So moving on, we are going to stuff it with fiberfill and shape with hands. Okay, so I'll try to do this with the hook, see what happens. But I'm going to take the little bit and fill the tail. Okay, you don't want to make it too bulbous. Bulbasaur. Okay, and then we're going to put the rest in the body. Alright, as much as I want to finish the stuffing, I'm going to see how firm this is. See how firm the head is. You want to keep the firmness fairly similar. But if it's, you know, close enough, remove the, remove the excess. We'll just split it up between the legs. Same thing that way. You know, you don't have to use all of it. Right. So we are going to do round 15, which is chain 1, 6 decreasing stitches, a slip stitch, and end up with 6 stitches. Alright, so 1 decreasing stitch, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually took some fiber fill with that. Let me redo that. Try not to crochet the fiber fill, because because it will poke through and then it won't look right. Okay, and what, I have 2 more of these left. Let's see, 1 and 2. Okay, we don't need this marker anymore. Gonna count back 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Stick your hook into the 6th stitch. We're gonna do a slip stitch, and then we're gonna fasten off. Alright, so for this one, we have our tail here, so I guess maybe cut like an inch off, right? And we're gonna fasten this off. This, pull it so that it's tight, and then I'm just gonna shove this in here because we're gonna sew the head onto the body. So again, you want to pick a nice looking part for the body, and I'm just gonna make this the top. At the bottom here, I think that's where we did our slip stitching. It's hard to tell. I think I did a fairly decent job on this. Anyway, and then we're gonna, I mean, you don't have to sew it now because we're gonna sew it at the end. So let's just do that. So we can go straight away into the legs. Oops. Okay, I only have 2, 4. Repeat the but. Okay. So this is where we're gonna do a video savings, which I always love. But I'm gonna do one leg on camera, and then off camera I'm gonna do the remaining 3. I'll hop back on to do the, you know what, I don't even want to stop. This is, let me see, I'm either gonna go straight away to the horns because we have to do this 3 times, this 4 times, but I'm just letting you know that I'm gonna do the 3 legs off camera and the 2 horns off camera. Okay, so we are going to wrap this around your finger 3 times. You want a little bit over your index. You can hold it down with your ring. Pull a little tightly or snug or whatever, these 3 strands. We're going to palm up. We'll slip the hook underneath the 3 strands. I'm going to pull this back out, but I'm going to pull this strand underneath these 2. Then I'm going to yarn over, and I'm going to pull this strand through this loop. Okay, once we have this, you can let go of your middle finger and we can slide the loops off your index. I'm going to grab some yarn here, and we are going to do 6 single crochet stitches. But first we're going to chain 1, then we're going to do 6 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So make sure you've got single crochet stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we have our chain stitch. Alright, so I'm going to hold the bottom stitches like we did before. You can push this off to the side. Alright, so out of these 2 loops, we're going to see which one goes into the magic ring first by pulling gently on this excess piece. Once we've identified the loop, stop pulling. We're going to pull the lower half out from here, not from up top here, but down here. Pull that loop out. And once you pull it, the other loop is going to go into the magic ring. Pull it till that loop is completely gone into the magic ring. Then we're going to take the excess piece and you're going to pull that until the other loop goes into the magic ring. And then to close this hole completely, we're going to pull in the opposite direction and a little up. So pull that till it's nice and snug. And then we're going to do a slip stitch to finish off our round. So count back 6 stitches, 3, 4, 5, 6. Stick your hook into the 6th stitch and then do your slip stitch. Okay. So now we are going to do rounds 2 through 5. Oh, this is going to be not fun. So 2 through 5, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to do chain 1, 6 single crochet stitches, a slip stitch, and end up with 6 stitches. So this is going to be very narrow, you guys. We got to do 4 of these. And at some point, we're going to get to where we have to invert the project again. Make sure that this excess piece hides inside of it. So you'll see me do that. But I'm going to do that all in silence. And then I'm either going to move on to the next one, or I'm going to take a break, do the remaining 3, and then I'll do the horn. But either way, you won't notice. Alright, I completed rounds 2 through 5. This is how narrow it is. I mean, I saved myself this much stuffing. There's no way I'm going to fit a fraction of it in here. But I'm going to try fitting enough, as much as I can. So, after we do that, we are going to fasten off and leave the tail. But so I would take this opportunity to try to stuff this. Not ideal, but this was just straight up 6 stitches all the way, so there's no avoiding it. I try to fiber fill before it gets this small normally, but yeah, like I said, it is what it is. So stuff as much as you can to the same firmness as everything else, or you can make the legs a little bit stiffer because that will be what's keeping up the dinosaur. And what I should have done was gauge. I'm gonna have to do the rest by feel. You can split 4 little balls of stuffing so that it's the same size, but yeah, you could also, you know, feel the firmness in each leg to make sure that they're the same size. So, all right. Now I'm going to fasten this off, but first I'm going to leave myself a good amount. So we're done with all the yellow. So this is how much yellow I have left, which I think is more than enough. So I'm going to leave myself a nice tail here to sew the leg together. But yarn over and pull through all the way out. And then we're going to pull on this to tighten up that knot. Now we don't need to do what we did before because I feel like this needs to stay trunked. If we did what we did with the head, it's going to close off and then we're going to have a point you know, attached to the body, which a leg should be stumpy. You know what I mean? Or however I end up sewing this together to make it look right. Okay, so I'm just going to actually move on to the purple. I'll see if we have enough time to just sew everything together, and maybe this might be one video, which is always great. So I'm just going to grab myself some purple yarn, and I love this color, by the way. Okay, so for the horn, we are going to do the same magic ring. I've already done this 3 times. If you want to go back to maybe the leg to do the magic ring, go ahead and do so. But I'm just going to do this at my own pace. Did I not clear that? Make sure you clear your yarn. Now for this round, we're going to do 5 single crochet stitches instead of the 6. So chain 1, do 5 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, count back 5 and do a slip stitch. 3, 4, 5. Do your slip stitch. I'm going to put my marker. Okay. Then for round 2, we're going to chain 1 and do 5 single crochet stitches with a slip stitch, and then end up with 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. And then I'm going to count back 5 stitches, and we're going to do a slip stitch. Let me remove this marker here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Stick your hook into the 5th stitch. Make sure you clear the yarn. Okay. Do your slip stitch. Then we're going to remark our last stitch. First I'm going to flip this inside out. Okay. Then I'm going to mark the last stitch. Then we're going to move on to round 3. We're going to chain 1, 4 single crochet stitches, an increasing stitch, and end up with 6 stitches. So chain 1, do 4 single crochet stitches, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then we're going to do an increasing stitch. 1, 2. Remove the marker. Count back 6 stitches and do a slip stitch. 3, 6. Slip stitch. Remark the last stitch you made. Okay. Then I'm going to chain 1, do 5 single crochet stitches, an increasing stitch, a slip stitch, and end up with 7 stitches. So a chain stitch, 5 single crochet stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then an increasing stitch, remove the marker. Then we're going to count back 7 stitches and then do a slip stitch. 3, 6, 7. Uh-oh. I'll show you how to fix that. Alright, slip stitch, and then we're going to leave some yarn here. I'm going to fasten this off. Okay. So yarn over and pull all the way out. We're going to pull this tight. You don't have to do the front stitches like we did with the head. But so how you do this, if you can see here, I just accidentally left this outside, and you can just pull that string out with your hook, and then we're going to tuck the whole thing in here. There's no fiber fill for the horns, but we do have to tuck that excess piece inside here. We'll probably sew this on flat, but this is our horn, and we have to make 3 of these, or 2 more of these. So make 3 more of these and 2 more of these. I'll be right back. I'm gonna see if we have time to sew it all together. Alright, I finished all the body parts. we're gonna sew the heads, body, legs, and horns together. And I'm not a sewer. This is probably nearing the 2-hour mark. I'm going to start sewing in moments that I'm not talking. I'll probably time lapse the video so that it's under 2 hours. Or maybe not. It'll just be over 2 hours. So, anyway, alright, let's do this. So, part 1, we're sewing the head onto the body. Okay, so let's actually see. This is so tiny. Okay, we have the idea step by step. Let's look at this guy here because this is a bigger guy. So it looks like that the head is going to be a little up. Right, I just got to make sure that the head is, I don't remember which side was up, but it looks like it should be up this way. So we're gonna put this body together. It looks like this part here should be the lowest part of our body, and then I just gotta figure out, all right, we're just gonna go here. So I'm just gonna go through the stitches all the way around. So that should help us, you know, at least secure the body to the head all the way around. We have that little excess piece I gotta just stick in there, and then I'm just gonna go around the body and the head for these 6 stitches. Oh my goodness. Okay. The body is so tiny and the head is bulbous. Bulbasaur. Alright, and then once you go all the way around, I'm gonna do that weird French knot thing. Tighten it up. Alright, then I'm gonna cut this down a little bit. Actually, this is a little too long. Okay. Grab my hook. I'm gonna go just under the surface of the body, avoiding the fiber fill. Come up right next to where the excess piece is. I'm gonna yarn it over, and I'm gonna drag it into the body. You do that until it's gone. You can just poke through to the other side to avoid pulling out the hook and pulling out some fiber fill. But this is how we attach the body. Okay, so then now we're gonna do the legs. It looks like he's having it, the person, whoever's doing this, is having it pinched. So we're gonna do that as well. So, I'm going to sew it to the side like this, but at the same time, how did they, it looks like they're going through the body. I think that's a no. I'm gonna lay this like right here. I'm just gonna go in here, man, because I don't want to pinch the body. So I'm just going to do the same thing I did with the head and just use all the 6 stitches that we have here. Oops, sorry if I'm out of frame. But again, if you have a better way to sew, by all means do that, because I have no idea what I'm doing now. But the idea is to attach the leg to the body. Okay, again, once we are all the way around, then I'm going to tie my knot. And if you're wondering, yes, I am a lefty. I do get requests for lefty videos. My list is very long, so please be patient, and I will eventually get to the lefty videos. But same thing here. I'm going to cut this, come up right next to the excess piece, and then we're going to drag it inside the body. Okay, got one leg. Let's do the next leg. Okay, and we just have to do the other 2 legs. This was a I might have sewn it a little too far down. Oh man. Okay, one more leg. So we might be a little over 2 hours, I think. So not too bad. This might have had a little too much stuffing. Okay. Gonna tie my knot. Oh my gosh. Well, first pancake, as I always say, the first one that you make is always gonna look not right, and then you could learn from your mistakes and make the second one better. So here is, and it's like top heavy now, but we can always make it sit. Here is our dinosaur. Alright, we're gonna sew on our 3 horns. Maybe I can put this one really down low so that it carries extra weight and weighs it the back side down a little bit. I just totally made the front legs a little too behind. Maybe they should have been a little closer because it's top heavy. But what if I make it like a stegosaurus and like put it at the end? Oh. Well. Alright, so I'm gonna put this here. And I guess I'm gonna sew this flat. Speaking of dinosaurs, hey buddy, Dexter's here. Come to laugh at my fail attempt of this dinosaur, are you? He's just sniffing around. Okay. Hogging up my chair. What do you want, buddy? It's not even dinner time yet. Same thing with the legs. I'm just gonna go in here and drag this extra piece down into the body and then push my hook out. Then I gotta do 2 more of these guys. Okay. And then last but not least, okay. What, buddy? What do you want? Huh? What do you want? He doesn't like me filming, so he's always trying to get me to leave my desk. Okay. So here is my dinosaur. It looks better on its side than it does sitting up, because it doesn't stand up. But comment below, let me know how yours went. Here's a side by side. Okay. Not too shabby, at any rate. Well, thank you so much, you guys, for watching me in this series. We did all 6 characters of the Crafter's Square kits. Now, if you are struggling and you just can't do it, and I don't even know if you made it this far in the video, don't beat yourself up. I don't believe that any of the amigurumi kits are for beginners. In a perfect world, it'd be nice to be, but these magic rings are far beyond what I could have done when I started out crocheting myself. So, and I was a kid when I learned. So even, you know, at a young age, I would have been like, what? And it's not just Crafter Square. You've seen my videos, I've done so many different kits from different companies, and I all feel the same, that amigurumi is not meant for beginners, in my opinion. It's just too complex. I mean, you get these super cute projects. I'm gonna do a booklet over the summer, and it has really cute food. And at one point I saw this kit and they make chicken nuggets, so I'm looking forward to doing that. But they're not at all, you know, that easy. So, but hopefully these videos can at least shed light on some of the stuff in the instructions, or just prove that this isn't for beginners. But anyway, again, thank you so much for joining me on these 6 characters. Again, I have a bunch of requests that I'm going to try to fulfill as soon as I can. I just have a really long list. If you seek membership, there is video priority. And I also do one-on-one Zoom calls or something like that if you really need step-by-step help. So check out the membership perks. It's not just for nail peoples. I understand that I have so many different kind of viewers, so any of the goodies that you get from my memberships are going to be catered to things that you end up liking, because we do more than just nails and crochet here. I'm going to whip out some knitting kits soon, and that's going to be so much fun, because I actually prefer knitting over crocheting, even though the first thing that I ever learned to do decades way before knitting was crocheting. So thank you so much for watching. This is Isms by Josie. Please share, like, and subscribe for future videos, and I'll see you again next time. Thanks. Bye.